Hello guys, and I hope that you all been well and keeping safe. Now I'm going to do a breakdown of the GBPUSD trade that I took yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Right, so where do I begin? So we start off with the high time frame. Now I started with the 4 hour on this one purely because this is where I saw that there was a bearish breaking structure. So let's go to where it was, about here. So there we go. Now remember that whenever we're looking to trade an OB, we're going to still need to focus on market structure, right? Because all we're waiting for, I didn't even put a brush on, did I? There. All we're waiting for is this to happen, yeah? So we're waiting for a break of structure to happen, okay? And then we're looking for an entry off an OB there. That's all we're looking for. Now, that's essentially what's happened here. Now, remember what I said, whatever happens and whatever time frame you're looking at, it will replicate itself, right? So as you can see here, we've got the high being created, then a new high, but then a low. We broke structure. So if we see it in this sense that we've got this move, right? This is our LG in that sense, because it's a liquidity grab and then came and broke structure to the downside, right? And this is obviously our safer entry. Then when we break structure again, if we break structure again, because obviously it might not, but if we break structure again, the next entry is going to be our safe entry to continue the start of this new bearish trend. Let me get rid of this. So because as you can see, it's been quite it's been bullish for the last since September odd, to be fair. So essentially we could potentially, well, if we break structure again from where this entry is, we can continue a downward push. So if I look at it from this perspective, how I refined to this bit, and I think this is what a few of you were concerned about because you couldn't work out why I didn't use the wick trick here. Now bear in mind, so this is our OB, right? This is our refined OB. We've got imbalance sitting here, right? Now obviously we're not going to use that because that's huge. Now flick through the time frames. You know what, I'm just going to go to I didn't swear then. I didn't swear, I held myself. Right, so if we go through the time frames, so keep going through, we want to find a clean OB, and this is the one that I used. The reason why I use this one is because we obviously got the structure break, right, which originated from this move, and the only reason I picked this is because of the imbalance that's sitting here above it. This is inside the wick that we consider a wick trick. It didn't break any structure for me to say that, you know, that this is an OB. However, it's not to say that if price violated this OB but still reacted here, I'll still be looking for it. But that is my main area of interest that I'll be looking for to place the trade, right? So if sorry, I'll go back to where I was. So that is the OB that I'm looking for, and that's the one that broke the structure. Regardless of the gap that's been created here, it's still a continuous move, right? That was just a Sunday gap that happened. And you don't need to go any lower than that. To me that's enough. I don't think I saw anything lower, but as you see, even on the 5-minute time, we didn't really break structure, right? For us to say that, you know, there's a higher time frame, there's a point of interest sitting in there, right? So if I go back to the higher time frame and let price play out, let's go to here and I'll show you where the entry was. Oh god, nah, I did not mean to do that. Apologies. Right, let's go to let's go 15 minute, and then let price get in. Okay, right, so if you go to the 1 minute, and this is what will be confuse some of you. So obviously what we can see here, so my entry was here, we can see that there's no real break of structure, right, on the 1 minute. But if I go back a bit more to here, now the only reason why I do go to a lower time frame is not only to refine an OB, but if you get a move like this, and this is just something that you'll pick up with practice and time, is that this little move, right, for me, I felt was some sort of pullback, and we've got this wick trick here, right? Which I don't know how to say it without confusing you guys, but essentially for me that was some sort of a pullback. But obviously this is not clear on this time frame, which is why I went lower. And if we go to the 15 second, it's quite clear, right? Now you can see it. So now you can see this is our entry point. I think it was number 2. Bear with me. Let's go. Where is it? I believe it was the second. It was. Yeah, it's this one. So this is essentially what we found in here. So we didn't create an LG, but I did not mean to draw that line, but we've broken this structure and our OB is sitting here. And my entry was based off the 30-second one purely because I wanted one with the imbalance. I could have done the 15-second. I could have done this one, but I felt more inclined to use the actual bullish one. The actual bullish candle that caused the impulse down that broke this structure. That's just a personal preference, and the stop loss was pretty good for me. But yeah, so that's the only reason why I refined down to the lower time frame. Now let me get rid of all the drawing. There we go. Right, so that's the only reason why I went to a different time frame from the 1 minute. Otherwise, I most likely would have missed this trade. I did not mean to do that. Let me turn this off. All right. Otherwise, I would have missed this trade. Actually, I'll see if there was another entry, because once it triggered, I didn't look at it anymore. So broke structure here. This is a very difficult one because this is one that sort of happened very quickly. So if we're looking at this structure here, right, we broke this structure here, and the one that actually no, that's not an entry. Let's keep going. Apologies. If there was an entry, we broke structure here. Didn't quite get an entry, but that would have been very nice entry. No, I mean that would be an entry, but that's quite late in my opinion. Like, I wouldn't look after it's gone this far from the point of interest. Like if you missed the first one, the only time I'd be looking for would be the second one, which if we break structure here, it would have been this one that I'll be looking at. So I would have missed it out completely. I know some of you do follow the trades quite a bit and do get like second entries or third entries even, and that would be a very good example of one. I don't think price ever came back to this one up here. No, it just carried on going. But yeah, the trade carried on playing. It played out very nicely. And hit my target of 70R. The only reason why I extended the TP is because I wanted a whole number. That's literally the only reason why I moved it to 70R, so which was 210 pips or something like that. I can't remember what the pips was, but yeah, that's the only reason why I moved the the take profit. I did trail the stop loss in that sense. I did trail because initially what I wanted to do was move the TP completely, take partials at this level, and the only reason I've done a TP here is because it was the body, the close of these candles here. I should have ideally could aim for this structure break, which I still expect to happen, but I just wanted a fairly quick trade, and it only took a day to get there. Now who is sending me this many messages? But yeah, so that was a breakdown of GBPUSD, which hit target for 70R, and that was the full reason behind why I went to the lower time frames. And it doesn't happen that often, so it's quite good that I had this scenario to show you guys, because yeah, it's not one that we normally come across. But yeah, that's the only reason why that I went on to, and I was actually active at my screen at the time when I was taking this trade. Otherwise I most likely would have missed it. I would not have entered, and I just got lucky. I don't know, I guess I was somewhat lucky for this entry in that sense, but it had full reasoning behind it, and it had a good reason to come back and mitigate this OB that created the move. So yeah, so that was a breakdown of GBPUSD.